Well, hello everyone, and thanks for tuning in again. Oh boy, as you can see, we've had a little bit of snow here. Fortunately, it wasn't really anything to write home about. About an inch or two, and quite a bit of it has melted already. But it gave a different look to the landscape. So naturally, I thought this was a prime opportunity to get out and see what photographic opportunities I can come up with. All right, right now I'm at the base of a little stream here, and I'm going to see if I can put something together here. It's pretty chilly out here. It's about 26 degrees Fahrenheit. So I imagine that's what, maybe about -1, -2 Celsius. So it's not a particularly warm day, but sometimes you just have to brave the elements to get a halfway decent shot, or at least put an effort in to get something. So I'm going to venture down to this stream and see what I can come up with. Okay, I found my first composition. As you can see, I've actually come down into the little stream here. And if you looked at the introduction with the drone footage, you saw that I flew the drone over these trees that are fallen over across the creek here. And that's going to be my first composition. Now, unfortunately, you know, we've got some trash and whatnot that's washed up, but I can take care of that in post and get rid of that and clean things up pretty well. All right, as you can see, we've got just a thin layer of snow that's covering the tops of the trees that have fallen over, and obviously, as I mentioned earlier, it's a completely different look than there was as opposed to yesterday or last week. So I couldn't pass this up. I had to get out and do something. All right, I have the shot set up, and I'm focused for the large tree that's actually on top. And I've got an exposure of 1.16 seconds and ISO 64, and I'm stopped down to f-stop 14 so I can get plenty of depth of field. All right, I'm also using a polarizing filter to kind of cut down on some of the highlights on the snow. It'll make it a lot easier. It'll prevent the snow from burning out, and I think that's probably my best bet at this point. All right, I'm going to take the first shot now, and for this I'm only going to take one shot, and here it is. All right, let's take a look at this. All right, that's nice. I like that. That's nice. All right. Okay, as you can see, it's a pretty gray day today. But one of the things I like about shooting on a day like this today is because when you start processing these images in post, when you start increasing saturation to some of the main elements in the image, it really stands out against all of the gray areas around it. The sky is gray, it's 100% overcast, and actually they're calling for some more snow tonight. A little bit more than we got last night, but that's all well and good. Okay, and there's a tree here that's also leaning into the stream. It hasn't actually fallen over, but it's leaning into it. And I'm going to see if I can get something composed to get a halfway decent shot here. So I'll be back in a second. Come further down the creek, and as circumstances would have it, as I was looking for the composition that I was describing to you, This is the tree that I was talking about that's actually leaning in toward the creek itself. But what struck me when I came over, the roots are exposed. The ground, as you can see, has eroded. The soil's eroded away from the roots, and you can clearly see the root structure. And I said, wow, look at this. Now, I have a composition set up, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to photograph this very unusual pattern of roots in this particular tree. All right, we also have some snow and a little moss that's actually growing off of it. And I don't know, I'm going to see what I can do with this. This is definitely an abstract type image, if I ever saw one. I just need to go ahead and focus on this. And I'm stopped down to f-stop 16, so I can get depth of field, as much depth of field as possible, all the way through. Now this is giving me a much longer exposure. This is giving me 3 seconds at f-stop 16. So I'm ready to take that shot now, and I'm only going to take one shot for this. All right, this is 3 seconds at f-stop 16. And there we have it. And let's take a look and see what we've got here. Yeah, I'm liking this. On this particular image, I'll probably crop in just a little bit and give it a square crop, and exaggerate the colors, exaggerate the contrast a bit, and that should give me, I think, a pretty good abstract image. Okay, well, that's 2 shots in the bag. Now I'm going to look at the overall composition that I was describing earlier, with the tree leaning in toward the creek, and see if I can get a shot with the creek as well. Now, I don't know if that composition is going to work, but I'm going to take a look at it and see what I can come up with. All right, be back in a second. I've located and set up the final composition for the day, and basically I'm just shooting straight down the creek here. I'm going to try and make this somewhat of a minimalist type image, even though there's a lot going on here, because I think after it's put together, it's going to be a very simple image with not a lot of complexity to it. And that's why I'm calling it a minimalist image. The water is basically going to be the subject, and that's very minimal here. So, all right, the sky, unfortunately, is going to be in the image. So here's the first shot. I'm going to take that now. 1 1/3 of a second at f-stop 16. All right, that's one down. Well, as often happens, sometimes you think you have an image that you can work with and may turn into a reasonably good image. But as often happens, it's not quite what you thought it would be. Well, fortunately, I shot several different variations of the root system on the previous image, and the image you're about to see is the one that I decided upon. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you have, please subscribe if you'd like, and don't hesitate to leave a comment. All right, until next time.